Hey, you're listening to the Reasons Podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
What's up, people, and welcome back to another episode of the Reasons Podcast. This is episode 8, and I am again here, Renoa, on my own for a solo episode. I do have something lined up, something nice for not next week, but 2 weeks' time on the next episode, and I think it's going to be fun. It's not been done yet, it's not been recorded yet, but I'm going to get like a nice lead time on it so that like I can get it good because I'm very excited for it. But yeah, episode 8. I'm very excited today actually to be here talking with you guys because this week was like an up and down kind of week, and I guess I'll kind of get into that when like I get into the topic. But yeah, this week has been up and down. The last couple of weeks, really, basically since I did the last episode, have been quite up and down. And I think the last episode, I don't remember exactly the date it was, but it was during the time where like things were kind of going a bit downhill, but not like downhill in the sense that I was fine, right? But like things are much better now. And this week basically is the culmination of that like ascension from where I was when I recorded the last episode, or I guess it was the week before the last episode, and where I am now. And yeah, basically I just got back today from like literally just now from basketball because I was running a session and like I jumped in and played. And you know, I guess I'll get into it now. I guess because I spoke to you guys about it last time, me not being able to play and everything. This week on Wednesday, I went in for what I thought was just like another concussion check, and I basically had not really too many symptoms from the last couple weeks, from the last week that I spoke to her, and therefore like I presented that to her and everything, and like, I was like, hey look, I feel fine, but obviously you told me I can't actually play for another few days. I do have a game today. I have felt fine, and fine for me is like just able to operate. I guess fine for her is probably something different, but like I can't be bothered. Like one thing with medicine and the hospital and the doctors, I just don't like going because I'm very anxious as a person. So if somebody tells me that I'm not allowed to do something, then I simply won't do it. Like especially to do with like medicine and stuff like that. So if I ever went to the doctors for something and they were like, hey look, you can't do X, Y, and Z, then I wouldn't even think about doing it. Whereas if I don't know if I'm allowed to do it or not, I'll probably just do it because like I don't have that anxiety like, hey, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to. So I said to her, look, like I know I'm not supposed to play. And she was like, look, if you've been feeling fine and you trained, because basically I know I just said I wouldn't do stuff that I wouldn't normally do, but I had a reason for this. On Monday this week, I trained and I did like the full session. I was cautious, of course, but I did the full session because I knew I was seeing her on Wednesday. And I was like, hey, look, if I play here and tell her that it went okay, then maybe she'll let me play this week or she'll let me play next week. But if I don't train, she's going to be like, oh, you can go to training and then you can play next week. So I was like, look, if I just train now and it's fine, then I can play this week, hopefully. If I don't train, I'm definitely not going to be able to play this week because she's not going to just throw me into a game as my first thing back. And it all worked out. Like, training was good. I was a bit like, at the end, I was a bit lightheaded, but I think that's because I literally haven't done any exercise for like 3 weeks because I wasn't allowed. So it went well, and I played on Wednesday, and it was so good. Like, we won 94-32, I think. It was against one of the 20 million universities in Birmingham. I think it was like UCB, and it was incredible. Obviously, I didn't start, and I was going to restrict my minutes, and then I started playing, and it was so fun. Like, we all had such a good time. We played such good, like, team basketball and such good defense, and, like, everything was just so fun. And it was our first home game of the season as well. So after the game, you know, you get to talk to your friends that are sitting there in the crowd. And normally I don't like home games because I get really nervous when I do stuff in front of people that I know. Like away games, I don't feel that nervous because none of the away fans know anything about me. So really, me just being able to dribble the ball to them is like, oh, he can play basketball, right? Like they have no other information about what I'm good at or bad at or what I should be able to do. So I just see it as, hey, look, I'm just gonna go out and play, and I end up just showing the crowd how good I am at basketball, basically. Whereas at home games, because it's all your friends and your friends know certain things about you and your friends have seen you play before and like the other teams are there watching you. And bear in mind, we're the first team, our second team is watching us. I kind of see it as like, yo, you have to play well because if you don't, like all of these people can see that you're not playing well and you're supposed to be good. Like, why on earth are you the president? Why are you the captain of the first team? Why are you on the first team if you're playing bad? So I normally get really nervous for home games. And this game, I was so nervous because obviously I didn't think I was going to play. Up until about 2:30, I was not playing in my mind. I get cleared and I'm on the bus and I got my watch on. I'm checking my heart rate and my heart rate jumped like 30 points. Like my resting heart rate is normally somewhere like, I don't know, 50 something, 60, 55, 60. My heart rate was like 98. It was crazy. Like I was on the bus back home and I had to get ready. I had to get my mind right, sorry. And as we're warming up, I just felt so, I don't really know how to describe it, like tense. Like I was nervous. I was like, wait, do I even know what I'm doing? And like when I checked into the game for the first time, it felt like I just started playing basketball all over again, even though I did play in the first game, which was only 3 weeks before. It felt like I'd never played before. I guess maybe because it was a home game. And I had my first shot, maybe like 15 seconds in, 10 seconds in, it was a wide open three. And I'm supposed to be a good shooter. Well, no, I am. Like, why do I do this, right? I am a good shooter. And I'm expected to make threes. Like, if someone passes me the ball on my team for a three, like, I'm expected to score. Like, I'm expected to, like, that's a good shot kind of thing. And I just airballed. Like, I literally airballed the shot. It felt good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it felt good out of my hands. Like, there's some shots that you shoot and it feels like actually quite good to come out your hand. And I thought it was going in and it just airballed. I was like, oh, shit. Maybe I'm cooked. But no, it was fine. I think maybe like a couple plays later, I came down like off a screen and like scored a mid range, and it was quite a tough shot as well. So I was like, okay, I'm back. Like I'm here. I've arrived finally, and all the nerves went away. And I actually like, without tooting my own horn, played really well, and it was a good game. But yeah, that is kind of, as you can tell, how my week began going much better, because Monday was kind of rough because I was training and I knew I wasn't playing on Wednesday, or I thought I wasn't playing on Wednesday. And this has been my reading week, so I've not even had any uni to go to or anything. Tuesday, I don't even know really what I did. Wednesday was obviously the game, and then things started picking up. We had like our recovery on Thursday, that was really good. Friday, we had practice again. Like, I've been doing things that I've been able to just do stuff again. And the first half of the week, obviously, I wasn't doing really anything. And I was on reading week. And I had all these things like, hey, I should be doing my essays, or hey, I should be doing, I don't know, like networking, or all of these like different things. But I couldn't escape them because I couldn't do any exercise. Like, I wouldn't be able to go for a run or just go and scrim because I was so anxious. Like I said, like I was anxious because I wasn't cleared yet. Like, what could I actually do? And yeah, it's all culminated in today, where I've been able to get up, go basketball, ref a game, play, have a good time with even people I've never met before. Like, we just had such a good time, like just messing around, playing basketball, scrimming. And now I'm here, quickly fitting this episode in because I'm now going to football. Well, not now, but I'm going to play football with one of my friends who I went to school with back in Norwich, who's at uni here in Nottingham as well. He just asked me, hey, can you fill in on our 7-a-side team? I was like, yeah, let's play. So it's now 5 o'clock and I'm going at 6. Well, the game's at 6. So yeah, like so much activity is going on, and I'm just so like, I don't know if you can hear my voice. I'm like so amped up. I'm like excited to talk and excited to, go to basketball, go to football. I also did my hair. I don't know if there are any black people who listen to this. Well, I guess there will be, just some of my friends. But I don't know if any of you have like locks. Basically, I have locks, and for the longest time, whenever I've got my hair done, because before locks I had braids and twists and cornrows and all of this rubbish, right? My mum did like everything. She did all of that stuff for me. She wouldn't cut my hair. I'd go to the barber and get that done. But when I started getting locks, she wasn't, well versed in that. So I would go to somebody else to get it done for me. And then she decided to learn. So my mum basically has been doing my hair all the time, like forever. And whenever I go home, which is literally like 3 times a year, Easter, Christmas, summer, it's so like matted that it's just such a terrible experience. So I've thought that it's a good idea to learn how to do it. I didn't think it would be easy. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think it'd be easy, but I didn't think it would be that hard. So last night, I'm like, hey, let's get it done, right? I started at 6 p.m., wash your hair, sit down, get the clips, get the gel, got a bottle of water to like keep my hair moisturized, blah, blah, blah. Tell me why I did not finish retwisting these stupid locks until just before 3 a.m. Like, I know I'm a bot, right? I know I've never done this before, but my arms were in agony. My mind was just broken. I just felt empty. I was just so dejected because I know I'm saying my week has gotten so much better, but in this moment of looking at the time that it was when I finished, I just couldn't believe it. I was so happy that I'd got it done, and it actually like turned out quite good. Like, I did a pretty good job, I would say. Like, compared to what my mum would do for me, it's practically the same thing. I guess it's not really that hard, but it took me so long because when you don't really know what you're doing, you don't have the confidence to go quickly. Like, you're making sure everything is perfect because you think that you're doing it wrong. And I guess that's what was going on. So I would take breaks. I would just sit there like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? When's it going to end? But yeah, eventually got it done, went to bed. And then this morning, I decided, hey, look, if I'm going to retwist my hair, I might as well cut my hair as well. So I tried to give myself a little taper fade. And obviously, because I have locks, they come down, right, over my face and like, over the sides of my head. You can't really tell if I've had a haircut or not, other than maybe the front. But even still, you can't really tell. With that being said, right, you wouldn't know the haircut isn't amazing unless like you were really looking for it. So I feel like I've done a pretty decent job, but at the same time, like, I did do some bullshit, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing my shape up on the front. I pushed the hairline out left so much. I was like, oh goodness me, what have I done? I didn't realize how difficult doing the back was because you literally can't see. I tried to set up like a double mirror, triple mirror kind of thing, and it just wasn't working. So I just had to like just go with the flow. So I don't even know what it looks like really, but it feels fine, and it got the job done. Oh, I also did like slice half my eyebrow off. Maybe not half. Basically, I was doing the front of my hair, like the shape up bit at the top, and I didn't realize when I was like pulling it down to like reassess what the hell was going on, I just sliced my eyebrow, bro. Just sliced it. Obviously, my hair comes down over my eyes, so you can't tell. But when I saw it, I just burst out laughing because I could not believe what I had just done. It was so funny. I just don't have like a third of my eyebrow on the right side. It's just gone. But, enough of what happened today and yesterday and whatever. I have just spent like 14 minutes talking about my week and the ramping up of everything getting better. But I guess it's kind of necessary because you could probably tell that I'm in like a better mood than I was. I don't know if you could tell I was in a worse mood last time I recorded, but hey ho. The topic of today is the chase for perfection, as you can see in the title. I guess it's like, I'm going to speak for this for basically as much time as I've done an intro, but that's what podcasts are for, I guess. You just sit and talk, right? But yeah, in my weeks of not being able to do any activity, being the, I guess, philosophy student that I am, I just sat and thought so much, right? So much about so many different things. And obviously, because I'm with myself all the time, I think a lot about what I'm doing, and a lot of that, I don't know if this is just like a me thing or if this is just what people do in general. A lot of those thoughts about myself are, what could you do better, right? And I don't want to be misleading with the title and say that I'm chasing perfection or people are chasing perfection. It just makes sense because when you are looking at all of the different aspects of the things that you do and you're like, how could I do them better? Maybe you're not trying to be perfect, but it's just a nice way to sum up all of those little aspects of your life that you're trying to get better at. And when I was in that, I don't want to say dark place because I really wasn't even depressed. Like, well, I don't know. I wasn't really depressed. I was just like, I don't know, just down, right? In that time, it's very difficult to see that you can't be perfect, or that in all of these little things you're trying to get better at, there's still going to be something you're not great at. There's still going to be room for improvement. It's very difficult to see that. You just think, wow, I'm just an idiot, or wow, I'm just unfit, or wow, I just have a bad diet, or wow, I have weak will, like I'm weak minded, or, you know, all of these different things. It's very difficult to see that because I guess when you're down and in your low mood, when you're in a low mood, sorry, you're basically like, or at least this is what it feels like. It's like I don't know how to describe, it's like you're in a cave, right? You know, when people, those weird guys who go into caves, like the ones that like you have to crawl through and like it's very claustrophobic and you're just trapped in this, like, there's this one route that you can go through and it's just the width that fits your body. That's the kind of room or kind of area you feel like you're in when you're in low mood, because you can't see anything other than the fact that you're in a low mood, right? The same way that that cave, like you can't go anywhere outside the confines of this little tiny area. When you're in low mood, you can't think outside of the constraints of your low mood. So even though when I pick up my laptop and I'm like, hey, I'm going to plan my essays, and I don't do anything, like I don't get anywhere, even though in the big picture, I still have 3 months to write my essay, you can't see it because you're so confined to this small space where, oh my God, I can't even sit down and do work. Oh my God, I'm so lazy. Oh my God, all I do is procrastinate. And that's all that you can kind of see when you're in this little, you know, confined area. And I guess now that I've come out of that, it almost immediately hit me that the area that you're operating in when you're in a better mood is just infinitely bigger. Like it's just massive in comparison. Like today when I'm at basketball, I couldn't even really remember, I can't remember all the bad plays that I had, which is a good thing and which is evidence of that, because when I'm in low mood and I play basketball, I remember every bad thing that even like possibly happened. And for those things that I do remember, it's not a, oh my God, you're so bad at dribbling. Oh my God, you're so bad at passing. Oh my God, you can't even try hard. Oh my God, you don't play defense. It's a, this is the reason why, or this is how you could improve. But at the same time, you're never going to do everything perfect and you're always going to make a mistake. And that's what makes you maybe a good player, because you can realize that you've made a mistake and next time you won't. And you see like how my thinking is so much more expanded than just, hey, you're bad at this, you're never going to be good. Hey, you're bad at that, you don't try hard. Hey, you're like, you know, all of these like small minded, narrow thoughts. Hey, you're bad. Hey, you're lazy. Hey, you're, you know, I don't even know what to say, bad at dribbling or bad at shooting or can't lay the ball up. All of these like kind of small things that you have, or that I would have when I was in low mood. It's not that they're not there anymore. Like sometimes if I miss a layup and I'm still having a good time, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Just score the layup. But that kind of thinking is elaborated on and it's expanded into, hey, don't even worry about it. You know how to lay the ball up. You'll do it next time. Or you're never always going to be able to lay the ball up perfectly. So maybe this was your one miss for the game, you know. Nobody shoots 100%. Like most people shoot like 40%, I don't know, 50%. On layups or whatever, and maybe this is just one of your few misses that you're going to have this game. You're not going to miss next time. Whereas when I'm in low mood, I'm like, hey, am I going to miss every single one? Am I horrible? Do I need to like pick a new sport? Do I need to quit sports? And you see, like, that narrow-minded kind of confined space kind of thinking is, I don't know, like, it's almost inescapable because, like, you literally don't know anything else is going on. But during that time where I was thinking like that, and I wasn't able to do any activity and, like, get away from that confined space, because that's what I would say activity is for me. It's like a breach of that cave. It's a way to exist outside of the cave. Even if I'm still, like, overall in low mood, I can leave the cave for like 2 hours, right? I can go play basketball, I can go on a run, or, you know, go to the gym, and I can leave for an amount of time before I have to return to this terrible, terrible cave. But because I couldn't do that, I spent so much time thinking about all of these little tiny things. Like, oh my God, you got up at 9:05 when you said last night you were going to get up at 8:30. That's so terrible. Or you said you were going to plan 3 essays and you only planned 1. That's so terrible. In this time when I was thinking like that, I kind of realized now, looking back on that period of time where I was thinking like that, that I could not narrow this down, I could simplify that thinking to just calling it the chase for perfection. Because in every single situation, I'm trying to do something the right way, or I'm trying to do something correctly. And I guess I'm just substituting the word correct for perfect in this sense. If anyone has any problems with that interjection or that, substitution, then let me know. I kind of feel like it's valid because I'm chasing correctness here, but I guess if you're correct in everything, then you're perfect. So chase for perfection kind of works, right? And when I boil it down to that and I say, oh, in this time I was chasing perfection, I think that's so stupid because you literally can't be perfect. I know it's very cliche, but so many of us actually do it so much. And I guess it's not really in our control because when you're in low mood, like I said, you're in this really small space of thinking. Like your mind is simply not going outside of the cave. So you don't know you're chasing perfection, and in your mind, chasing perfection is still silly. You don't realize you're doing it though. And it's only once you come out of the cave for good, because I'd say like now I'm out of the cave for good. Maybe like my toes in there, or maybe 1 foot, maybe half a leg, but not 2 legs, not my torso, not my head. Like I'm not really in there anymore. And because I'm not in there anymore, I've got fresh air. Like I can see it. You know, I can see that this is basically what I was doing. I was getting annoyed because you're in low mood and you're just more irritable. Like you can see that everything that you're trying to do is just trying to do everything right. You know, trying to be perfect, trying to be the good person, trying to be the virtuous person. All of this rubbish that I can see is kind of rubbish now. You don't know that you're doing it in the moment. And I'm going to be honest, I thought it was because of the concussion, because the woman, she was telling me that you're going to become more irritable, more emotional, you're going to be more sad. And I was like, okay, so this is why I'm being like this, right? This is why everything's annoying me. This is why everything is not making me sad or like down, but I thought that it was a direct consequence of that, like of that incident. And as the like symptoms went away, I was like, yo, am I actually just cooked? Like, is this like a life altering kind of thing? Like when you get a concussion, you're actually just a different person. Like, I'm going to be deadly serious. I had a thought that I was cooked. Like I was never going to be myself ever again because I'm just a different person. I'm more irritable. I'm more emotional. I just couldn't grasp what the hell was going on. And it's literally because I was in the cave. Like when you're in the cave, there's nothing other than just darkness. You're just not like, it actually sounds bad. Like I'm actually not depressed or Like nothing's going on, but because you literally can't see anything other than the fact that you're in this low mood kind of area of your life or period of thinking, you simply just think bad things. Like there's no I don't know what the word is. Like you have no empathy for yourself. You have no empathy for yourself. Like when you get up at 9:05 instead of 8:30, that your body needed a bit more sleep. Or when you turn the ball over, you try to throw a bounce pass between two people, like it slipped out of your hand. Like you don't give yourself any empathy. You don't sympathize with yourself in any situation. Like I was like, yo, I'm cooked. I'm a bad person now because of this concussion. Like I'm actually just a bad person. I'm more irritable. I'm more annoyed. I'm more emotional. I'm never gonna be myself again. Like I don't even think, oh, maybe you're just in the cave, bro. Maybe you're just in the cave. Like you're gonna leave the cave at some point, but maybe that's just where you are right now. Like you don't even think about that. You're basically just kicking yourself for not being perfect. You're booting yourself in the bum while you're in the cave because you're so annoyed that you're not perfect. Bear in mind, you don't know you're in the cave. You truly just think that, or at least in my case, maybe it's not the same for everybody, but in my case, I was just like, hey, I'm doing all of these things and I'm not doing them the way I think I should be. I'm a terrible person, or I suck, or I'm bad, or all of these things. Instead of maybe just chill out, maybe just wait a week. Maybe it's because you can't play basketball, and maybe like you're having withdrawals or something. Like, can you just see both sides of the coin? Or are you just going to look straight ahead and see one side of the coin? Because I guess that's what the cave is, right? You can't turn around and see the other side of the cave because you're in this confined space. You can't turn around. If you're in one of them caves, right? How on earth do you even turn around? Like, I guess I'm sidetracking, but like, I truly want to know how these guys who go in these caves turn around. Like, they must only be able to see one side of the coin. I guess you can see like my analogy here, but like at the same time, how do they actually get out? Because I mean, first of all, I'm not going to go in there to find out because that's just crazy. But I also don't see a solution. But anyway, forget about all that. Do you kind of see what I mean? Like with this whole, like you're not, obviously you yourself would never say, I want to be perfect because you know it doesn't work. But when you're in this like period of low mood, you don't know that you're doing that. Like I didn't know that that's exactly what I was doing. But now that I look back on it and I have fresh air to look and fresh air to like analyze and reminisce, and I say reminisce like it was a year ago, bro, it was literally last week or even this week. But you have more time to see and you can analyze and say, like if I saw right now, so now that I'm not in a cave anymore, right? If someone told me that they'd done all of these things in a week, and bear in mind, this is just my week from last week, and somebody else comes and tells me, oh, this is how my week went, I'd say, bro, why are you trying to be perfect? Do you not know that that's not possible? Do you not know that, like, come on, bro, you might just be in the cave. And now I guess that I'm not in there, I can see that. But while I was in the cave, I didn't know. I never had this conversation that I'm having with you right now. I never had this conversation in those 3 weeks where I wasn't allowed to play. And I think that the low mood would have come on because of that. Like I was dejected that I wasn't able to play. And maybe it was a bit shocking because I didn't think that I would care that much. I knew I would care. Like, of course you want to play. And that was one of the main reasons I came back. And I did talk about that last week or 2 weeks ago. But I didn't think I'd care this much. So I guess it was shocking. And I guess that's probably why I didn't think that I was in the cave. Because I was like, there's no way that not being able to play basketball is affecting me this much. Or not being able to exercise is affecting me this much. I didn't think it would be that deep. Right? So that like chase for perfection to me while I was in the cave was just, I expect myself to be a better person. And I guess I will link back to one of my earlier episodes. I don't know which one. Let me check my notes. I wish I could just tell you off the top of my head. Episode 5, right? Where I was talking about trust. Like trusting in yourself to basically just like regain control of what you're doing. In that episode, I was talking about how like that's when the year started. Like uni had just started. It was literally like end of September, early October, and I was like, bro, I have no routine. I don't know what to do. Like I'm getting up at weird times. I'm going to bed at weird times, but I need to trust that I'm gonna be able to get back into a routine. Like trust myself because I know that you can't always be perfect. You can't always have a routine. You can't always be like in the right place, the right time, doing the right things. You just have to trust that you're gonna get there, right? And I guess this is like the perfect way to end this little bit about chasing perfection. When I was playing on Wednesday, right? So bear in mind, when I got that all clear to play on Wednesday, it was almost like that's when I left the cave. That's when someone pulled me, they yanked me out by my legs and gave me fresh air. Maybe I decided to put, my toe or my foot or half my leg back in there since, but in that moment, I was totally out. Like I was fresh, right? And in the game, when I airballed that first free, there was, I was nervous, right? But I wasn't nervous that I wasn't good. I was just nervous because I was like, am I prepared? Like, I don't really know. Like, I didn't know I was going to be playing. And I feel like that's kind of why I went on to have a good game because I had that trust, because I had that like wider picture, right? I played well in that game because I did so many other things that weren't shooting threes. And in previous episodes, I've talked about this one game that like literally sticks in my mind so much from last year when I played really bad and I shot threes really badly. And in that game, I basically played like I was in the cave, right? You're bad at shooting. You need to be good at shooting. Keep shooting. You need to be good at shooting, right? That's basically how I played. And I just played badly because I had this like really small-minded approach because all I could see was right ahead of me in this cave. I had this really small-minded approach that I had to be good at shooting threes and that was it. Whereas in this game on Wednesday, when I was basically in the clear, like I had fresh air, I didn't have this cave, not confined, not claustrophobic, I missed my three, realized, hey, look, it's fine. You go play good defense, you can still have a good game. You could go 0 for 10 from three and still find a way to have a good game. You're good enough at other things for that to be the case. And I didn't, shoot that many more threes. I probably shot 3 more threes in the game. I made 2 of them. That's fine, There was no part of me that was like, you need to make these threes to prove you're a good shooter. It was just like, hey, go play good defense. I had like 20 steals. Maybe not 20. I probably had like 8 steals though. I played really good defense. I rebounded well. I passed the ball well. Like I did all of these other things because I had this wide approach to it. Like, hey, you missed your free, bro. That's embarrassing. Yes. You airballed. Yes. Your first shot of the game. Guys on the side are thinking, is this the guy? This is who we came to watch. This is the president. This is the captain of the team. He airballed his first. Is he an idiot? That's what they're thinking. But in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go get a steal. Hey, I'm going to contest this shot. I'm going to box out. I'm going to grab the rebound. I'm going to assist my teammate. And the contrast between those two games, like, hey, you're so bad. You can't make a three. You're so rubbish. Keep shooting until you're good. Was me just chasing the perfection. Me chasing the idea that I could make every single shot. Me chasing that, like, this small, narrow part of basketball because I was in the cave, bro. Like, on Wednesday, this game that I just played, I wasn't trying to be perfect. I wasn't thinking about every tiny little mistake I made. I don't really remember them. I watched the game back and I was like, oh, damn, I was trolling. But because I wasn't so narrow-minded and I wasn't chasing this idea of, hey, you can do everything perfectly right, I was just so happy to be there. Like, somebody before the game was like, hey, like, how do you feel to be back in the team? Like, how are you feeling for it? And I remember I just said to them, I'm just so happy to be involved. I didn't really care. Like, I know it's going to sound bad. I guess maybe I was able to think like this because I knew we were going to win because the other team was so bad and we knew they were really bad. But I didn't really care if we won. I didn't really care if I played that well. I just was happy to be involved. the game at Loughborough, when I played really bad and I was in the cave and I was narrow-minded, that game wasn't just I'm happy to be involved. It wasn't just I'm happy if we win. It was I'm happy if I do everything well. That's it. That's basically, like, in my mind, I think what I had done, because I had this idea that if I do everything perfectly well, we're going to win anyway. So all I have to do is do everything well. And obviously that line of thinking didn't work for me. And an opposite line of thinking, hey, don't be perfect, just go out there and do the things that you're good at, like I did this week, worked really well. So I guess my message in this, other than it being a conversation, I guess it would be nice to end with a little message, is when you're in the cave, you're not going to be able to tell that you're in the cave. So sometimes, like, I guess this advice is kind of useless, right? When you're in the cave, try and take an open, like a larger perspective, see the bigger picture. You're not going to be able to tell, because I've had this conversation for like half an hour now. So you would think, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. Next time he's in the cave, he's going to be able to. But I've had this before, right? You're just so focused on right then and there that you simply can't tell that you're in there. But all I can really say is that when you do get that breath of fresh air, when you do get that like lease of life and escape from the chase, like you get a little break, you get water, right? You know, you're running, Perfection's down the road and you're running after him, right? Perfection, he stops and you can have some water. That's you coming out the cave, right? You get to have a little water break. When you have that break, like I'm having right now, and hopefully it's not a break. Hopefully, like, Perfection will stop running and he, I'm just going to leave him alone and I'm going to stop chasing, right? But when you get that break, cherish it, like, be happy that you're not there anymore and try and recognize that you were there. Try and recognize that the way that you were when you were in the cave is not really you. Yes, it is a part of you. Like, I'm not going to say that when I was being really irritable and more emotional, that wasn't me. Like, it's still me. But while I was in there, I truly believe that that's how it's going to be forever. So when you get your little break, your water break, you get to catch your breath, try and remember who you are when you're not in there and find a way to be okay if you can. I guess I'm still doing that as well. Try and find a way to be okay with the fact that you're going to go through these little fluctuations and you're not going to like yourself sometimes. I wasn't happy with how I was doing things. Like, I wasn't happy with how well I was doing things, how much effort I was putting into things, like all of this stuff, right? I wasn't happy with it. But if I can find a way, and this is, I guess, the challenge, and for you guys as well, if this is a relevant topic in case to you, if you can find a way to be okay with yourself when you're in the cave and be comfortable being claustrophobic and be comfortable only seeing one side of the coin, only looking forward, not being able to get out, then you kind of win, don't you? Because you're not going to be so upset with yourself every single time that you make a mistake. And even if you do get to that point, you're not going to make yourself feel like a terrible person because you're content that that's just how you're going to be sometimes. So, I hope this kind of helps you guys. I hope you guys can have, if some of you are having down weeks or a down month or a down day, hopefully you can have this ascension like I've had. But I would hope that none of you have this ascension because I hope none of you need to have it in the first place. So it's only for those of you that are down. If you're not down, you don't need any ascension. Just be happy that you're not down. If you are down, it's coming. Don't worry. It'll be with you soon and you'll be okay soon. But yeah, that's all from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go play football. I'm not going to try to be perfect. My first touch is probably going to go under my foot. There's probably going to be an opportunity for me to score an open goal and I will miss. But that's fine because we're not trying to be perfect. But yeah, that's it, guys. I will see you for the special episode in a couple weeks. Peace.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Reasons Podcast. Make sure to tune into the next episode.